I thought I'd share this little story that's happening with my daughter that lives with me. I don't think she'd mind if I share this story. She's kind of really, really happy about this one. Years ago, when she was about 15, 14, I think, just about turning 15, I think, possibly 15, just about turning 16. Could be 15 turning 16. And she got, we ended up, a very long story, really short. We're living in a women's shelter for like a month. And I didn't have much money, but like I had just left everything and sold everything, so I had a little bit of money, but I was trying to find an apartment, and my daughter really wanted to move from Alberta to Ontario, and she was only, I think she was turning 16 at the time, so I'm really, really, really angry and upset and lost and frustrated and hated everybody, wanted to be away from all family members, and I had to do whatever I could to keep her there. So I told her, just give me a month, and um, in a month, if she still felt miserable, then I'd support her in whatever it is she wanted to do. I kind of used this same tool anytime my kids wanted advice. This is the kind of advice that they would get, and it always worked for them when they listened to me. When they don't listen to me, it's like we don't get along at all. But I knew my daughter really, really loved horses, so I asked this shelter if they knew anybody. It was a really small town, but there's a lot of farms all over the place. It's a small country town. And they said, nope, you got to find your own. So got on the phone and I started asking for anybody that didn't mind somebody working with horses, volunteer. And finally I found this one guy. He says, oh yeah, I love helping kids that are having some trouble. So I go there, and really cool person, and my daughter's like shoveling shit. After one day, she's eating pea soup. My daughter does not eat food. Like, she's really, really picky with food. So pea soup is just not going to cut it ever, ever, ever. And here, the first day, he's got her eating pea soup and doing nothing but shoveling shit and not touching a horse. Anyways, for a month she kept seeing um, I believe it was like a three or four, possibly 5 months that she was working there. And she eventually, I think after a month of shoveling shit, he let her start working on this horse. And this horse is lineage is Secretariat, and there's a movie out on Secretariat. So my daughter broke the horse of Secretariat, and like she didn't move to Ontario. So anyways, her life has been, really, really challenging, but she's finding her way out of it. And right now she's kind of wanting to change jobs and start working with horses. And she just got turned down one job, and but she's really, really trying to meet up with this guy that she works with. And we haven't heard from him for, about a year and a half, and probably 2 years now. And apparently my daughter still owns half of this horse. So for some work that she did. So he's a really, really, but none of that even makes any difference. It's more the relationship, because um, it changed her life. It's really helped her have a focus. And it's just, her boss was giving her a hard time for being late for work, and it's like, why get pissed off at that? Obviously, you want to get another job. There's got to be something in the universe that's got to force you to want to get rid of that job so that you'll want to go towards the job of your dreams. And so it's like, why bother getting pissed off? Just sort of recognize that, okay, this is your little guide that's saying you're not supposed to be happy here. You've got another dream to follow. So she's applying for, so she didn't get the job at this one ranch that was hiring, but she's going to go and see them and volunteer and give her resume with this guy's reference, because now that she has his phone number. So it's like the universe works magically. I've got to follow my own advice and get over this one hump that I've got. And it is, we all have to have purpose. And that's the biggest problem is when you know that you have purpose in your life, then that's when you really feel like you're alive. And nobody has a purpose right now. Nobody feels that they have an option to live their purpose. But like what my daughter's doing too is she's volunteering, and it's like every time you volunteer doing something you love doing, no matter what, you'll find your way. You'll find your way that will give you purpose and provide income, no matter which way it needs to come. But you'll get the prosperity that you need. And so it's like, don't be upset when shit happens. It's like, okay, that part is over. You don't like it anyways. That's why if you take responsibility that you're attracting everything in your life, then take it as a sign as, okay, you're having a sign that says wrong direction. You don't really want to be here. And it's like, just take a different direction, a different point of view of how you want to see your life and what you want to see your life. And for me, that's what I'm doing. I'm sharing the information that I love. Purpose would mean that, okay, what I see is a really, really cool picture. I think it has a hell of a lot of potential for everybody to just live their fullest potential. If everybody just listened to their own voice, it is sort of like a self-government. It is getting more for your buck. It's like everything you possibly could want is right there if you take responsibility and just follow your heart, basically. And volunteer your work. Volunteer what it is you really, really love doing. Don't try and chase money. Chase your dream. And ultimately, this monkey on my back, this lack of will to live, just means I'm not perfect at it yet. Just means I'm in development. Just means I'm still in school. I don't know how to communicate, first of all, with myself. But once I develop myself, which means doing YouTube in a year and practice my skills, and mostly it is can I explain the things that I've seen in a way that people understand it. And so it's really kind of complicated. It's really, really simple, but it's complicated in explaining something that you have no comprehension of. But it is like trying to take something that's really, really a lot of science to figure this out, and they had to dumb it down so many levels so that, it's like everybody can understand it. Which is not an insult. Newspapers write at, I think, a grade 3 level or something like that. Like, in order to be read by, and if anybody that's seen my posts, my spelling sucks. Probably sucks for a purpose so that I'm not a writer. Otherwise, I'd write a book, and then I'd be one of those people that are sold with a machine, earning a lot of money and not really getting the picture unless I was at the very bottom. It's like it was bottom enough to know that there's a much deeper bottom than mine. So, and endless. So it gave me the right perspective I needed, and I had to, have the weakness, being a bad writer. Um, but talking and sharing some of the things that I've experienced is something I obviously love doing. So I don't know how good I am at it. I don't think a lot of people understand what it is that I'm saying yet. But there is a shift. And that shift is just shift your mind. Change your mind. It's like take advantage of this. Start talking with your neighbors. Get creative. It is a time to just really get calm and love your life and think, what would I really, really love doing? If I know everything that's wrong, then write a list of everything that's wrong, and on the opposite, write your personal opinion of, okay, what would you rather it be? To know something's wrong means you know what's right. And then you can start from, well, when you know what's right, how do you look in that rightness picture? That's like the dual world. Is there's two possibilities with the same situation. Actually, there's infinite. But, going from the extreme really wrong for your life and really good for your life, then following that path and but it's athletes used to practice and practice to develop their skill. Take hours of practice the same routine over and over again. And then they decided to just close your eyes, I think, for, I don't know, maybe 3 minutes or 10 minutes. I think it might have been 10 minutes, I'm not sure. But they had to visualize the routine in their mind. And after they did that, it was like 3 hours worth of practice. So visualizing yourself already there helps create the reality that you want to experience. So how many people are sort of visualizing the world's going to end, looking how bad, we've got such bad presidents, we got, the corporate world. I mean, how many of us are really, really focused on everything's really bad, are you visualizing yourself every day in the midst of everything that's wrong? Guess what? You're creating that day after day after day. It's going to be the guy that says, hey, what about this direction? And visualize yourself being somewhere there. It's like a whole herd of humanity is running off the cliff of Earth. And I mean literally, that's what's happening. It's like a buffalo headed off a cliff while all of humanity is about to wipe off the face of the earth. So it's like, okay, how do you stop that? 2012 is coming. Really heavily programmed into the world's going to end. Really programmed into the alien thing. Somebody's going to come and save you. Kind of see that game because, I mean, the weather's changing. There's a lot of shit. There's a lot of things going on. And it is the rush of the herd jumping off the cliff. And it's all because you're visualizing yourself, going down that cliff. It's like you can see the one right in front of you, like sheep. You know that you're going. You're awake to the fact that, okay, yeah, I know I'm walking off a cliff. It's, how awake are you? Like when you're really awake, it's the time where you realize that you are fully responsible for everything. And the deal is kind of like, but I picture myself over here. And I'm going to picture myself over there until that path starts getting created. And that's what I do every day. I may still have this huge monkey on my back, but I visualize something, and I'm working on it. I'm volunteering, and I'm practicing my skill. I'm jumping into my skin. I'm looking as bad as I possibly can. There's nothing but up. It can't get any worse than this. You know, so give of yourself. Introduce the world to yourself. Jesus.